Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Anybody hear me? Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? All right, just making sure. Yeah, I don't know what happened there earlier. I don't know why the thing ain't showing the the volumes here on the live stream part. When the volume goes up and all that, maybe need to have it a little closer to me. See if that works. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're working on something. Uh, but yeah, welcome. And I'm gonna try again. Hold on for a second. Yeah, but yeah, welcome guys to this live stream today. And it is a live vlog, or as it's called, a live post birthday vlog. Yes, post birthday. Long story short, my birthday was yesterday, of course, and it was a good day. It was a good day. It was actually a very nice birthday. Just family and all that. You don't really need like a whole, like a whole crowd or anything. You don't need like a whole crowd of people, you know, congregating or coming into the equation when it's just a birthday celebrating just in my case, 41 years on this planet. And so, yeah, 41 years as of yesterday. And let's just say, with every birthday and with every year you turn or every age, or basically, I'll put it this way: with every year you learn something new. Every birthday, every age or every number you age to, you learn something new, or you have to relearn a lesson you've learned before or should have learned before. And that is, don't drink too many shots of gin, New Amsterdam gin, uh, and drink hard seltzer, Bud Light, and Coors and all that, as well as eat. I mean, eating basically is a good way to balance things out. Let's not deny that. But yeah, let's just say it was not it was not a good idea for me to snake, as my sister called it, a couple of shots of several shots of New Amsterdam gin, the original. But it's my birthday. I felt, might as well do something to celebrate and kind of ring in the 41st year. As I just adjust the camera there a little bit, but ring in the 41st year. We'll put that, the 41st year. You know, so yeah, I just felt like ringing in the 41st year, just doing something like that. And yeah, it was just one of those situations to where, and hopefully you guys could hear me because I'm watching the live feed on my PlayStation to make sure. But yeah, it was just like one of those situations to where you learn something even on your birthday, you know. But again, it was a nice birthday. What was interesting is because of what's going on, we can't really go anywhere. So it was like, okay, how can we make this more interesting? Not interesting, but how can we work around this? And it's less stress for a lot of people. How can we work around this? And the decision was to get mountain mics. Everybody was going to get a mountain mics. I was going to get a mountain mic. Well, me and my mom got a mountain mics. My sisters and their families got mountain mics. So we decided to go that route, and it was a great decision because everybody got what they wanted. We have a nephew that's mostly a pepperoni and cheese kind of a teenager. Growing up, he develops different tastes and all that. So my one family got that, and then one of my sister's families got that and a Mountain Vegemore, and then my other oldest sister got a Mountain Vegemore and an asparagus one. I think it was the asparagus one. But what happened was they ended up messing up her order. So my sister decided, you know what? You want to screw up my order? I'll screw up I'll screw up the pizza I got to give back to get my order corrected. Because what it was is she had to contact Mountain Mike's and say, hey, look, you screwed up here. You guys need to fix this. And they did. They ended up fixing it. And but what my sister did, in I guess to kind of pay them back, was she ate some of the asparagus pizza before she gave it back to them and got a fixed one. And I know some of you might be saying, "Well, that's kind of messed up." Well, tell that to my sister. Oh, it's checking something on my phone too, making sure it's working. But yeah, like I said, tell that to my sister because for some odd reason, every time she orders from Mountain Mike's, um, they end up messing up her order, and she doesn't know why. It's like it's like all she wants to do is get the order right for once. Just get the right order, get it done, get it delivered, and have no problems. But they ended up giving her problems, so she didn't like that. Um. Anyway, anyway, yeah, but anyway, like I said, besides that, we were all good with it. What we had to do, basically, me and my mom, what we had to do, well, we cleaned up the area and everything. What we had to do is go to Nob Hill, which is part of the Rayleigh's Corporation, and had to get a few items. We got some cinnamon rolls, we got some fried chicken, um, just something to snack on. That being the fried chicken. Nothing. It was not just a couple of pieces for me and her, like a little lunch, little snack, before everybody got there. And like I said, we got that. We got the cake, which was the fruit. It was called the Fruitastic Elegance cake. It was a vanilla cake with strawberry filling in it, and it was good. It was good. But like I said, besides that, it was a good time together. I mean, I know some people might look at me and say, "Well, you had a lot of those shots and some beers. How can you remember?" Oh, I remember. Believe me, I can remember. I have a good memory when it comes to stuff like that, even if I've had a little too much. But yeah, I can remember. There's no doubt about that. I remembered. you know. Uh, but yeah, it was a good time. Everybody came over. Mostly the gifts from a majority of everybody were gift cards. Like even my dad's gift was a gift card. So, and ironically, the card he sent me got here exactly on my birthday. He sent it on the 22nd. Got here today, and well, not today, but got here yesterday. So I was able to well, not spend it just yet because the card he got me was a Pizza Hut card. Yeah, it was a Pizza Hut card, and what's interesting is my my sisters and my mom. I showed them the card my dad gave me, and I showed him what he gave. Well, I showed him the card, the birthday card that he sent along with this, and they all looked at the way. Well, his writing's not the best, but they also looked at the card and they're just rolling their eyes like, "Oh, seriously, what's wrong with this guy, right?" Because basically, it's like I don't think he realized. I mean, he knows I like pizza and all that, so I'm not taking that away from him. But he he doesn't real. But but usually he would send me and my sisters and his grandkids Walmart gift cards. So gift cards to places he knows they can, use them at. I'm not saying I can't use the Pizza Hut one. I can use it. There's no doubt. I can use the Pizza Hut one. But basically he should have asked, "Hey, do you got a Pizza Hut around there so I could send this to you?" And we don't. Not in Newman, that is, and not in Patterson. I don't know about Augustine, but we don't have it here in Newman or in Patterson. The closest we have a Pizza Hut at is in nine different locations. We have a Pizza Hut, 3 different Pizza Hut locations in Tracy, 3 different Pizza Hut locations in Turlock, and 9 different ones in Modesto, and that's about it. And it's like, again, they're like, why didn't he just ask me basically, what do we have out here? Basically, what do we have out here? So, it's like, because to them, it's like, why didn't he ask you? Why didn't he let you know what he was going to send you? Hold on, guys. Like I said, they're asking, they're curious. Like, why didn't he ask you or send you normally what he would send anyway? And that's Walmart. And I think honestly, and I look at the gift cards I got today. I think it's because honestly they realize, well, he works at Walmart. He can get anything there at any time, and he's got a discount. Why does he need a gift card? So they decided to go the other route and get me gift cards elsewhere. For example, like I said, my dad sent me a Pizza Hut one. My niece gave me this, and I had to register it onto Amazon, and it's $25, so I can apply that to any future purchase. Then my nephew, my oldest nephew, got me this. Him and his girlfriend got me this. I'm assuming it's $25 as well. I'm assuming it's $25. It's a kind of a unique kind of Subway card. And then speaking of Subway, my second oldest sister got me a Subway card as well. Now you might ask, well, what about your other sisters? Did she get you stuff or get you a card? Well, she kind of did. You see, this one you see, what she did is she got me this. Now you might say, wait a minute, don't you already have that? Yeah, I do. So, but I look at it this way. It doesn't hurt to have a backup. It really doesn't. Because if you look behind me, that's Rarity right there. I have that Rarity figure right there. I have the same figure in a little bag that they sold one time at my job when they were like reselling them and all that just to get them out of stock. So, yeah, I have 2 Rarities, which is kind of cool, as well as I have multiple copies of movies, which isn't bad because if you lose one, you have the other physical copy. Like I said, if you lose one physical copy, you have the other physical copy, and as well as you have the streaming options as well. So, yeah. So, yeah, she ended up getting me that. And then, because everybody's been getting these lately, our family's been providing them, she got me a mask to wear when I go places. Like, if we end up finally going to, that's how we open it. Okay. But if we end up going to the movies, have this, like, hold on. Have this on, like, when I go to the movies or something like that. Or go out into other stores. Like, hopefully someday they're going to, and I believe it's going to be soon. Because my sister, one thing she's like, because she stopped by today to help my mom with her stuff. So and that's all I'm going to say on that. She stopped by to help her with her stuff. It's something that a lot of people go through if they have seasonal jobs, so that's all I'm going to say. But she stopped by today to ask to help my mom with that, and she basically said, "Yeah, schools will be open again after the election." My older sister is one of those kind of people, and she's not the only one. Second my second older sister's husband feels the same way. Like, yeah, this is too coincidental. Like, yeah, we understand this is a serious situation, this virus and all that, and there's word of a vaccine, and now there's word that next month everybody's getting another additional 1,200. There's an extension here on 600 on the unemployments and all that, and it's like, even though that's good news financially for people because of what's going on, a lot of people feel like it's just too coincidental that this is happening, and it's happening, so close to election time. It's like, basically, long story short, my brother-in-law, my second older sister's husband, and my older sister, they basically feel, along with a lot of people, basically feel like, yeah, this is a serious situation, a serious ordeal that we're in, but it's just being hyped up and blown out of proportions by the media and by the politicians that don't want Trump in office, or people like Trump in office, because they're the kind of politicians, they're the kind of presidents and senators and House representatives that stand by what they say they're going to do. Also, I think it's the fact that Trump is not the kind of it's not the kind of president that's a pushover, and that's how people view Joe Biden. Like, the only reason they want Joe Biden in office, so he'll be nothing more than a yes man to them. Like, if Pelosi says, "Biden, kiss my feet," Biden goes like, "Yes, ma'am," or "Get me my coffee," "Yes, ma'am," or "Sign this for us so we can rule the world," "Yes, ma'am." That's what they want. They want a yes president, not someone that's going to go against everything they believe in. But yeah, she's one of those kind of people, because it's just too coincidental, and it kind of explains basically why. And I'm just moving my chair here. I do apologize. I'm adjusting the filter. But yeah, she's just one of those kind of people that feel like, there's something behind it. It's like, yes, we understand this whole situation's serious. Yes, thankfully they're getting a vaccine up and going real soon, but it's just too coincidental. And I think a lot of people believe that if Trump gets reelected, which it looks like he probably will get reelected, no matter what you believe, because I think the closer we get, the more I mean, obviously you see it, the more Trump's going to do what he can to be like, okay, you know what? If I got to do this to get the people to reelect me so I can make sure things get done, then I'll do it. It's like, if he has to wear a mask, which he doesn't like to, he'll do it. But anyway, basically, you know, I think everybody has this feeling that as soon as the election is over, not only will things get back to normal, but let's say Trump gets reelected, basically a lot of people, I feel, and I've been having this feeling, believe he's going to probably come out the day he does his election speech, and the first thing he's going to say on that night is, as his first official act, as a reelected president, he's going to reopen. He's going to do what he should have done a long time ago, and that's use absolute authority to make sure everything is open. So again, I could be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, it was good. It was a good birthday. Like I said, she got me the face mask, of course. She also, get up here for a second. She also got me this as well. It's pretty cool. And she got me this. And these are obviously not at my job, so she probably got them from her job, which is Kohl's. But she got me that, and my mom, she got me a card. She got me a birthday card. My mom did, but she didn't get me a gift card. Instead, she went the old-fashioned route, and that is, she went this route. So, but yeah, again, it was a good birthday. Oh, that was my Nabio card. I think that's it. Right? Yeah, yep, that's my Nabio card. I was looking for that yesterday. If we can't use the Nabio one, we just basically type in the phone number, and you know, easy as that. But anyway, though, it was pretty good. Like I said, the one thing I did learn is don't drink too much, even if you eat, because you're gonna feel it later on. And I did, because here was the thing: I came back in my room after everybody left. Put my stuff, put my gifts here, my gift cards there, and basically I went to my closet here and opened it up, took the stuff out that I put in there for the time being, and then after I did a little bit of that, I just crashed right on the bed. I mean, literally, the way, I don't know, I don't think you could see the bed. Um, Hold on for a second while I move this. I'll put it back. Don't worry. Um, but here, if you could see the bed, Ed, this is basically how it was. Move the chair for a second too. But that's basically how the bed was as yesterday. And what happened is I ended up crashing right about here with all my plushes still, you know, all my plushes still there. They were still there. Now, what I mean by the fact that I had to, again, as I hold on to this for a sec, like I said, what I mean by when I had to open this is what I did yesterday before everybody came is, if you notice over here, if you notice right over here, basically, and just trying to make sure you guys can see it, not that way, but this way. Here we go. But this basically was a lot higher. You might remember there was it looked a lot more crowder. So what I did is I took the foot massager and my control and my joystick, my PXN joystick, put them over here, and I took the metal series that I have, put them here. But what I did with these is I put them in the closet. Is what I did. I took the MLP stuff and I put them in the closet over here, mainly for the fact that I did not want a chance that they might get messed with. And what I did instead is I put the metal series, well, not exactly there, but I put the metal series that I have here. I put it, I put the metal series basically uh, in the place of the MLP stuff, so that it looks a little bit more cleaner. And again, I don't want to chance what could happen. Chance any teasing. Now I know if my sibling in my family watches this, then I know I'm going to hear it later on. But anyway, yeah, that's what I did. And then I decided that when I would bring it back out, that I would just leave the stuff over here, like the controllers and all that over here. I could still access them along with a few other things. But I would put the metal stuff here on the bottom because it makes it look a little more neater. It doesn't look so crowded. It doesn't look so crowded. And yeah, basically that's what I did. The other thing that I did yesterday as well, just to give you a little bit of a tour, a little bit of a room tour, is right here. I put a Gundam figure up. I put my Gundam figures finally up right here, and right over here. you can see I put my Gundam figures up right here. Put my Gundam figure up right there. And I did that. And hello, Damien. Nice to see you. And thank you for the compliment. But like I said, I did that basically because I want to kind of change things up a little bit, but also kind of make things look a little nicer. And I did the same here. I used to have these two Transformer packs right here. They were released for the 30th anniversary. I used to have them on the side. I took that out, put one of the magical mystery boxes in its place, and now it looks a little bit more neater and nicer. But I also, like I said, hid a lot of this stuff, mostly like the Equestria Girls figures. I hid them in the closet because, again, well, basically, they do at times. My family. I'll explain that in a moment as soon as I kind of untangle this for a second, get it back on the computer. Be a second, guys. Yes, be a second. Yes, be a second, guys. Hold on. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Hopefully you guys can still see me. There we go. But yeah, I had to do all that basically because of the fact that you know, like I said, I didn't want any kind of trouble because one of the things that happens sometimes when when they come and visit, whether I'm here or not, because sometimes they might show up, just to say, hey, we're in town. You want us to, because when it's just, well, I'll put it this way: when I'm working, sometimes they might come by and spend some time with my mom and all that, and even offer to take her out for lunch or bring lunch to her, stuff like that. And sometimes my older sister likes to come in here and mess with the stuff a little bit. It's like she'll move certain things and all that, and then I come in and then when I come back later, I kind of noticed that there's been a bit of a change. Like some things have been rearranged, if you will. So yeah, basically, just that there for a second. Make sure it's straight. Okay. Anyway, though, like I said, there are times that you know, they'll come in and I'll notice the change. I'll notice a bit of a change and all that. And hold on for a sec. Notice a bit of a change. Next, I'll notice a bit of a change and all that, and I'll be like, well, obvious. I mean, and of course, my mom's not gonna lie to me. She'll tell me, yeah, she went in your room. I don't know what she did, and or whatever. Because I do remember one time it was several years ago when we first moved here. We had Thanksgiving. I was working Thanksgiving. Um, I was honestly working Thanksgiving that year at my job, Black Friday, of course. And basically, long story short, um, I ended up noticing that, well, basically they were posting pictures of having Thanksgiving here and everything. But I also noticed that my second older sister's husband took a picture of my nephew, my second to youngest nephew, and my great nephew, which is basically my youngest nephew, in my room, pointing at my Celestia and Nightmare Moon / Luna Guardians of Harmony / fan series figures, all because I'm a fan. But thankfully it's kind of died down a little bit because I think they're realizing, hey, he's a fan. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has different tastes and all that. So that's basically what it is that they pointed at that and they're like, they just like to tease. And of course, it did happen yesterday as well because I think my older sister was like, "You should go see what your second oldest nephew did in your room." And I didn't notice anything at first until later on when I got up, and I noticed that he had taken my Luna figure, my Luna plush here, and put her on top of my Twilight figure, my Twilight plush, right here as well. Let me show you what I mean. He took my Luna plush and put her on top of the Twilight plush. So if you kind of get the idea of what he was trying to do, if you know what I mean. But anyway, like I said, but like I said, besides that, I just also decided to clean up a little bit, clean things up, and make it look a little bit better. Now you might ask, Brian, it was your birthday. Didn't you get yourself anything? As I move the mic here just a little bit. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. Yeah. See, yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying. But anyway, like I said, what was I saying? Oh yeah, getting back to what I was saying, you might ask yourself now. You might be asking, okay, Brian, was your birthday? It was your birthday? Did you get yourself anything? Because with any birthdays or even Christmas, even though people give you gifts or you get gifts to people, you always like to get something for yourself. Like Christmas, when you get gifts for people and all that, you also want to get a gift for yourself, something special. And you know, the same goes for birthdays. When people are going to give you something, even if it's a gift card or money or whatever, you want to get yourself something. You want to get yourself something that only you might enjoy getting. So what I ended up doing is I ended up doing a few things that I felt were necessary, especially if you have a bathroom. And I have a bathroom. It's just straight down the hall, turn to the left kind of deal. And one of the things that's been going on lately is anytime I get out of the shower and I use a towel to dry, to kind of dry myself before I get myself in my clothes and everything to get ready for work. Um, Basically, the towels are always on the tub, and I always have to sometimes go to another part of the house to get some other towels that are in a closet. So I figured, well, I'm going to get myself something because I've thought about getting it for a while. It's like God was telling me, be patient, get it when the time is right. And my birthday time was obviously that time. So what did I ended up do? So what I ended up doing, even though it's a Mainstays brand, which is a Walmart brand, I ended up getting myself this. I don't know if you can really see that very well, but I ended up getting myself. Let me see if I can darken oh, there we go. I ended up getting myself that, and as you could see, it makes things a lot more neater. Like you put towels up on the top, put a few things in the middle, you know, whatever, you know, whatever else as well, like toilet paper and all that. It's basically very useful. It is a little wobbly, but I've tightened it as best I could when I put it together. Because honestly, we got home, usually I get in the shower and I clean myself up and everything, and I still did that. But I wanted to get this out of the way. I wanted to build this and get it out of the way, and I did. And usually throughout time, when people buy these kind of things and to use them in the bathrooms and all that, usually, even though it might be a little wobbly, it steadies itself over time, and that's the truth. Now, the other thing I also got for myself was a shower caddy. Now, it's a plastic one. There's no doubt about that. It is a plastic one. And basically, I positioned it to where it doesn't totally get in the way of the shower head, but it still makes everything reachable and obtainable. So I ended up getting this. They had metal ones as well. And then what's interesting is this one I wanted to get from my mom originally because one of the things that she does in the morning is, when she puts her face on and everything, which, no offense when I say this, a lot of people do, whether you're a man or a woman. It's something you do in your own unique way. I wanted to get this for her because it had like a little catch area, and she doesn't have to put the mirror on top of the napkin holder or something of that what of that measure. She doesn't have to put it on the napkin holder to basically get it to where she could see herself. This kind of helps out, and it tilts up. Now, even though she appreciated it, she felt that it'd be better off in my bathroom because not only could I utilize it, but specifically, guests could utilize it, like my sisters, my niece, my nephews, my brother-in-laws, you name it. But also the reason I bought it for her, and when I showed her this feature later on, and everything, she was actually she. I'll put it this way: she was, how do I put this? When I showed her this feature later on with it, she was actually more accepting of the fact that, hey, okay, just keep it in your bathroom, and I might use it later on. And the feature is a light up feature. Basically, there's a switch on the back. You press the switch, and even though it may not look like anything's on there, the moment you press the middle here where it says light up, that's basically when the light itself will come on. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's kind of like, let's say, it's a strange comparison to use, but it's kind of a strange comparison. But it's basically like when you use a surge protector, and like the one I talked about earlier. You have the switch, you have the on and off switch on the top or the bottom or the sides, and basically when you turn it on, and basically when you turn it on, uh, the light will come on. Basically, even if you turn the switch off, you power everything down, you still you still have the surge protector plugged in, right? So that's basically what like this is. It's basically the power's on the back. You turn it on, you press it, and you turn it on. But in the front, it doesn't look like it's on until you press the light up, and then that turns it on, and the lights come on. And then you press it again, and you turn off the light. And then if you really fully want to turn it off, you turn it off on the back with the back switch. It's kind of like with a laptop computer. The laptop computer is plugged in, and even though you turn off the computer, it's still plugged in, it's still powering. So, basically when you turn it back on, you won't have to worry about not having power because the power is still plugged in, and by a light being on. I know it's, like I said, I know it's a strange comparison to make, but that's basically how that stand is. Basically it's a light up stand and all that. So I got myself a couple of those things. I also Oh yeah. The other thing I forgot to show you that my older sister got me, besides the 49ers stuff, is she got me a Dino Mutt plush from the Scoob movie, which even my second oldest nephew suggested I put on because it's good. And I will have to check it out eventually. And thank you for the birthday wish there, Wild Hops. But the other stuff I ended up getting for myself, first of all, long story short, I hid this one time during Black Friday last year, and obviously it got found and put back or whatever. And then finally it went down to the 1999 price tag, which a lot of these games go to after a while. And I decided to finally get it because I've been a fan of the series for a long time, and that's Soul Calibur 6. I ended up getting Soul Calibur 6 because I have Soul Calibur 5 and I used to have Soul Calibur, I think it was a 2 or 3. It was one of them. It was the one with Link in it. It was the Nintendo version with Link. So I ended up getting Soul Calibur. And then I've been wanting to get the complete series on DVD, even though it's on Hulu. You know, even though it's on Hulu and everything, I've been wanting to get the complete series on DVD. And I finally did. And sorry, there was a delay there and all that. Okay, so Soul Calibur 3. But anyway, and sorry there was a bit of delay there. The super chat, I mean, the chat and everything, I guess, is, catching up with it or something. I don't know. But anyway, I got Married with Children, the complete series. And even though I got this, the one complaint I think I and anybody else has with the distributing by Mill Creek when it comes to these complete series is like this. Is they have them like this, and I'm thinking that's the only thing I don't think people like about the Mill Creek releases is instead of doing it the right way, which is like this, they have it like that. And then of course, I ended up getting Knight Rider, also a Mill Creek release, and also probably done the same way. And the reason I got this is I've always been a fan of Knight Rider. I know that Michael Mercy and Zara Nizarak, Sean McLean, I know they're fans of Knight Rider and all that. And long story short, and I might do a video on this later on, is when I was a kid, I even looked this up. I had one of those steering wheel toys based on Knight Rider. You know, the one that you just plop in front of you. It's got like a little steering wheel and then a little, what is it? Steering, driving stick, next to it. So I had one of those when I was a kid, and it was a Knight Rider one. It was a Knight Rider one. So yeah, I was a fan. It was even though it was a primetime series on NBC and went into syndication, I became a fan of it because I think it was because of the car. I think obviously that for a lot of people, it was the car. So, and then yeah, of course, the same thing. It's sleeves like this, and I think Mill Creek hopefully is going to work on that down the line. Now, that isn't the only thing I ended up getting on for my birthday, or just because of it. I also ended up getting Trolls World Tour, so I got both Trolls movies right now. So yeah, those are a couple of things I ended up getting for myself, as well as the fact that digitally, I ended up. What did I get digitally? Hold on for a sec. Well, I look something up here. I don't think it's in movies anywhere, but we'll see. Um, one thing I'll say about some companies that do both cable and internet and all that, they need to let people know when they're going to be doing them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so other movies I ended up getting for myself, even though they may have been like very early gifts, because of the 20th anniversary, I ended up getting X-Men 1 and X2, X-Men United. That's on Movies Anywhere, so I can watch them any place. But I had to go to Amazon Prime. I had to go to the Prime account or Amazon Prime Video, and basically, I'll just say, basically on the Prime Video, because even though I could still do it with Vudu, which is part of Fandango and still somewhat part of Walmart, uh, with well, here's what I did with Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video. I ended up purchasing, I guess, because there's licensing issues or something going on between Paramount and Movies Anywhere. I ended up buying the live action 2007 Transformers movie, stream-wise digitally, as well. For the second time on a streaming platform, I bought the 30th anniversary of Transformers the movie, and that was something that came out back in 2016, 2017. And you might say, well, what do you mean by the second time? And what I mean is, the first time I did a streaming purchase of the 86 Transformers movie was with Vudu, and now I did it with Prime Video. So I ended up doing it with them as well, and that might have just answered my question as to why there was a lag. Basically, it looks like the computer decided wanted to do a little bit of updating, if you know what I mean. When the load light comes on when you're doing something, it kind of screws things over. But anyway, like I said, I ended up getting those through Prime Video, and then also, but then speaking of Vudu, going back to them, I ended up purchasing the Yu-Gi-Oh movie, the 2004 Yu-Gi-Oh theatrical film, which took place between seasons 2 and 3. So I ended up getting that as well, which, by the way, Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, the 2004 one, it's the only one I don't have on Blu-ray. Go figure. But I'll probably get it later on, hopefully. Yeah, but anyway, besides that, not really. But besides that, you know, I had a decent birthday. I mean, I'll tell you, this past week at work was crazy. I'll tell you that. Um, it got. I mean, I'll put it this way: it got busy to the point that since this past week was the first official week where people can't come into the stores unless they're wearing one of these. Um, there were some people that didn't. I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. I was surprised at how a lot of people actually did observe it and some didn't. And I can understand that there might have been medical reasons why they couldn't do it, but there were some instances I should say, where some people were not too thrilled with this and they would cause trouble. And not just at the store I work at, but other ones. In fact, there's a fellow store, in fact, another one of the stores for that another one of my company's stores in Manteca had a situation where a woman refused to wear a mask while she was in line and she was shopping or something like that. It was in the middle of the store, I think in Action Alley, in front of in the front row, in the front area. And what's funny is everybody there. No, we didn't. I mean, basically, I'll get into that in a moment. But like I said, basically everybody at that Manteca store, from what the video showed, is they ended up getting on this lady saying, "You have to wear it. Here's why." And no, not I'd never got on people about it. I never got on people about it. I just came and did my job and everything. The only thing that was miscommunicated was the fact that now that we're charging 10 cents for bags again, and I'm sure we're not the only ones out there, the compromise, as strange as it may sound, is if you want to utilize your bags, in other words, you don't want to pay 10 cents and for a bag. And if you have extra bags on your own, if you want to utilize your bags, that's fine, but you have to be the ones that bag them. I know, sounds strange, right? It sounds strange that, oh, wait a minute. So wait a minute. You're charging 10 cents now, but if we want to utilize our bags, it's okay, but we have to be the ones that bag them. That's about it. And for the past week or so, a lot of people did understand. A lot of customers did get the memo, were able to, a lot of customers basically, I'll put it this way, a majority of the customers were okay with that because, hey, if we have to bag it ourselves, what I'm trying to say is a lot of customers were okay with it. And the reason they were okay with it was because, hey, as long as they can utilize their own bags, they're not going to mind, bagging their own bags with the groceries or the items that they buy. However, even though a majority of majority of customers got the memo, some didn't. And I know I wasn't the only one. But basically, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but like I said, there was some people, about maybe 4 or 5 that I encountered. Well, maybe not 4 or 5, but I'd say 3 or 4 that I encountered that didn't get the memo. And I've had to bag the groceries into their own bag, even though we have been told specifically that they have to be the ones that bag their bags if they want to bring them in, or they got to be charged 10 cents if they want a bag. Again, I know it's strange, but here's the thing. The mask and bag situation are the least of our troubles when it comes to customers. Because, in case you don't know, there is a national coin shortage. No one knows why. Some people are saying it's because of the virus, because of the pandemic. Some are saying that's not true and that it's really just political based and everything to try to get who out. Anyway, though, the one thing that tops probably the mask and bag situation is the fact that a lot of people like to use self-checkouts. Unfortunately, because of the coin shortage, we have to convert self-checkouts to card only. In other words, you can only use your debit or credit card or your Walmart gift card or wherever, or your EBT to basically check yourself out at the self-checkouts. That's about it. And a lot of people are not frustrated with, and a lot of people, I should say, are frustrated with that because even though we have signs right in front of them, we have signs that are about this big right in front of them that say, sorry for the inconvenience, this is debit and credit only, they still try to go with cash. Even though it's as plain as day that basically, we have the sign, like I said, it's plain as day that we have a sign there, and we have signs on all the self-checkouts, both the grocery and general merchandise side, pharmacy side as we call it. Even though we have signs on the self-checkouts registers that say plain as day, these are because of what's going on. The self-checkout, I'll get into that in a moment. But like I said, even though we have a sign on there that says plain as day, because of what's going on, this is now debit and credit only, people are still insistent of using cash. It just boggles my mind. I mean, I don't know if any of you in the live chat or watching later on have dealt with something like that. But yeah, basically, even though we as plain as day have a sign that says, oh, by the way, you can't use money here. You got to use your debit or your credit card or your EBT card or whatever. They still try to insist on using cash. Even though one of the ways we kind of indicate that it's in one mode only, it's utilizing one mode only, is we have a red barrier around the screen that, on top has the sign that on top basically says card only, but they don't understand that apparently. I don't get it. Well, actually, I probably do get it, but it's just an opinion that I think some of these people that are insistent on using cash, they they don't take what's going on really seriously. Like, you could tell them it's a coin shortage, it's this, it's that. They're not believing it. So I'm guessing that's the only other reason. Now, to answer the question, how does the self checkout work with the bags? It's real simple. When you're finished scanning your items and you're using bags, and you press the button on the bottom that says pay with your amount on there, the moment you press that, a mini screen will pop up asking you how many bags you want. And let's say you have one bag, you press 1, then you press OK, and you're good to go. But as far as using EBT when it comes to those bags, we as the associates have to go over and type in the code for that so that people can get the bags for free when it comes to the EBT. But besides that, the week was okay. I mean, it went slow a little bit, then it went fast. Friday, originally, I was supposed to go in at 11:45, but they switched it. They basically asked me like almost an hour into my shift on Thursday, they asked me, "Hey, can you come in at 8:30 tomorrow morning or around that time, 8:39?" And I said, "Sure, no problem." And I did. And the only thing I had to do, and a lot of times we have to do this anyway, is when I slid my badge on the clock, basically I had to go to menu. I had to basically go and do a request override, and I had to put it under my assistant manager, my front end assistant manager's name, and basically put the expected time when I would think I'd be off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did that. So that's basically what I did. I had to, because like I said, originally I was supposed to come in at 11:45 on Friday, but when they asked me the day before to come in a little earlier, it gave me enough time to let my mom know, hey, I'm gonna have to go in earlier the next day. That cool? She was like, yeah, that's cool. And like I said, when I got in there, I went into the time clock. Yeah, the time clock, slid my badge, and then it automatically told me, hey, you're not scheduled to work at this time. This is when you're scheduled. Do you want to do a request override? And that's what I did. And like I said, I went to my assistant. I did it under my front end assistant manager's name, put the expected time of when I'd be off, because originally I was only supposed to do 4 hours that day, and the rest is history. The only thing I will say about that day, though, was since it was on the eve of my birthday, I decided I was going to treat myself. So I decided that since I have an hour lunch, I would go to Wendy's for lunch, because I'm usually going to Burger King, McDonald's, or Taco Bell because they're right there. Me, however, I decided to take up a challenge and walk all the way, almost 30 minutes worth, all the way to Wendy's that's part of the Flying J. Yeah. Like, here's my job. Here's my job, and all the way to right here, you can't see it, but let's say this is my job, all the way to this doorknob with the Flying J and the Wendy's. And I decided to go there to eat or get some lunch. And as I was walking back, my mom saw me walking, and she picked me up because she was coming back from taking care of some business that she had to take care of. and basically she gave me a ride, and off we went, and she dropped me back off. But I wanted to treat myself to a little something as well, and try something a little different, and that's why I chose to go to Wendy's. Yeah. But yeah, besides that though, everything else went. The schedule went as planned, except for Friday, and I don't know what's going to happen this week. I do know I go in um, about an hour later than I did on Friday, so that's the only thing there. And then it kind of like I go in later, some stuff like that. It's like It's like I go in a little later throughout the day, but it might throughout the week, but it might change. It might change. I do know that Tuesday. Oh boy, that'll be the first time in a long time that I'll be on the closing end of things, unless that changes. But yeah. Anyway, overall though, it was a good it was a good week, and it was a good birthday yesterday. Like I said at the beginning, basically, with every year that you get older, you age up a little bit. You're still bound to relearn the lessons that you should have learned a long time ago. And for me, let's just say eating and all that may help um, subdue all the alcohol that you might drink. It may, you know, may, you know, it may basically, it's like the more you eat, the more your food gets, the more the alcohol will get absorbed by the food. Well, let's just put it this way. Even though that's true, let's just, even though that's true, like I said, basically, basically, let's put it this way. You could eat a lot, but don't drink too much, especially if you're going to mix them. Because, like I said at the beginning, I had more than my share of several shots of New Amsterdam gin, the original, as well as I had a couple of beers, and I had a Coors Light. And let's just say around 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, like I said, after I crashed here, because as I said earlier, I went into that closet, got my stuff here, put it back over here best I can. Some was left on the floor, and I ended up crashing on this bed. I got up around 3 in the morning, went into the bathroom because I felt it coming on, and let's just say, whew, instead of coming out one end, it went out the other, if you know what I mean. And it was in the sink, it was in the tub, and I cleaned that all up. But yeah, it was just one of those situations to where it was my birthday. I wanted to celebrate, but lesson learned: one or two shots only, no more than that. If you know what I mean. Especially when it comes to something like gin, or like when it comes to something like gin, which is like I said, New Amsterdam, or Captain Morgan Apple Smash. You know, basically, don't overdo it, if you will. Because yeah, it'll make you knock out, or it'll knock you out, but you'll feel it in the morning, especially when you take ibuprofen to kind of make sure you don't get the hangover or the headache and all that, the migraine. Yeah, you'll feel it later on. And I'm sure a lot of you may, no disrespect, may know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was interesting, and it was a fun birthday, interesting, and really, that's all I could say. That's all I could really say on that. So yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to say with this vlog, guys. Um, just wanted to catch you up on what's going on. What happened with the birthday and all that, and yeah, like I said, it actually turned out very well. Like I said, I got gift cards to Amazon, which was 25. if you will, got gift cards to Amazon. I got a gift card to Subway, which was 25, maybe another Subway that's 25. I got money from my mom. Accumulating all together, it's about 125. And then whatever my dad sent me, which I think was 20. So I'm looking at 145 altogether. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But honestly, though, guys, that's all I'm going to say. As I check something one more time. Okay, just checking. But honestly, guys, that's all I'm going to say for right now. Thank you all for joining me for this live post-birthday vlog today, July 26, 2020. Thank you all for joining me in the live chat. Really appreciate it. And I'll probably be back unless something comes up. I will be back later with another live stream, a live topics on my mind live stream. So hopefully you guys can tune in and be ready for that when it happens. So till next time, guys, though, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. And I am out. I'm going to grab me something to eat. And have a good day, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you all for joining.